Hello and welcome to your Illustrator Creative Challenge. My name is Andrew Hochradel. Hi, hello. Today we're gonna be in Illustrator, but we're also gonna be in Photoshop, we're gonna be in InDesign, and we're gonna be in Adobe Express. So we're going to all of the places. If you wanna join me and learn how to use Creative Cloud libraries to its fullest, go ahead, click on that link down in the description. And when you click on that link, it is going to give you something that is going to be a great resource for us today. Right here, it will be our source file. So in this source file, there's a bunch of different markings, and we're gonna be working with these today to create a Creative Cloud library to then take into other programs and even use in Adobe Express to animate, which would be really fun. Can't do animation here in Illustrator, but you can with Creative Cloud libraries. It's an awesome workflow for those of you that maybe are trying to make things easier. You're a designer working in Illustrator and you want to make it easier to do social media stuff so you don't have to open Illustrator, Adobe Express. It's awesome. So we'll use Creative Cloud libraries today to do all of those things. Let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing that we want to do is we have all of our assets designed, right? I'm assuming that you are a designer, you've created all this awesome stuff. You've got logos, all the things that your client needs. All you need to do to start a Creative Cloud library is make sure that you have your libraries open. So if you want to have your screen look like mine, you can go to Window, Workspace, and I'm on Essentials Classic. So just click on Essentials Classic. And to open up our libraries, all we need to do is scroll down here and click on Libraries. And you can see, oh, I love when I can point at stuff. My libraries are syncing right now, and there we go. And it's gonna land on a screen that looks like this. Now, as you can see, I use a lot of libraries. It is a really helpful tool for me to stay organized and also to share with clients and jump back and forth between different Adobe programs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create a new library just for us today, and I'm going to name it Challenge. We're going to hit Create, and it will create that library for me. So I'm gonna pop this out just so we have a little more view of what we're working with here. And this is our library, right? It's telling us we can start to build a library, adding assets, styles, and more from a file. You also can drag and drop, which is my favorite way to do this. So all we need to do to start a Creative Cloud library, you ready? It's pretty complicated. We're gonna have an asset here. I need to ungroup these. And all we need to do, dun, 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 is just drop it. We just drop it into the Creative Cloud library right there. I didn't drag it to the right place. There we go. I have the music and everything. So you just drag it into that panel, and then from here we can double click on it and rename it. And let's type this one and say circle. Circle is how you spell that. So we've got a circle there, and now we have it in our Creative Cloud library, right? Really cool, great tool. Now let's say that I maybe want to pull in some of these other pieces. What I'm going to do is if I wanted to pull them in together, right? Like all of these I want to pull in together as a panel. Everything that you have selected, as you pull and drag it over into the libraries panel, it will add it together. So everything you have selected, it will add it together. And here I can say star grid. Oops, I keep hitting enter, and you don't necessarily need to do that. So there are ways with libraries to do more than just a specific shape, right? Or a specific object. You actually can do colors, you can do palettes, you can do all kinds of stuff. And so for here, you can collect as an collect for export. If you've never used this, it's a great resource. Or you can even add to library. So again, it adds whatever is selected. So if we have all that selected, it is going to add all of that selection to our library. But if we just right click on one of these pieces and add to library, it's going to add it in right there. So this is going to be pen stroke. I keep hitting enter. You don't have to hit enter. I just do it and then it moves the object. So I'm just going to grab a couple more of these. You can see how easy and quick it is to add these elements into our library. Add to library right there. And then let's add to library right there. Let's make sure that we name these just to stay organized. I'm going to do dots. Oops. Again, enter. Come on, Andrew. We're going to do swoop. No enter. Got it. I can just click out. And then here, let's do thick circle. Boom. All right, so we have some assets in here. I might want to do a couple more that are maybe in a different color, right? So I want this to be like a fun, crazy red. And so I'm gonna grab a couple more of these pieces, maybe these scribbles, and just make them red. Now it is going to convert, it is going to hold whatever color that object is, but I'm gonna show you a way to kind of get around that, which is cool. So we're gonna add to library here, and we're just gonna do red squiggle, and Andrew, pull it together. And then we'll do one more by just going in here, grabbing this red. There we go. And then right clicking, add to library right there, and red squiggle. 2. All right, so we have all of our pieces looking good. Let's go ahead and open up a new, document. So you can do that by going to File, New, and then you can just make a new document with 1920 by 1080. Let's do that. So do RGB color right here, and I'll just hit OK. So from there, we have our new document, and all we need to do, super easy. Are you ready for it? Click and drag. All you need to do is click and drag, and then you place it. And you can see that it actually has this X over it, right? It's stretching that, but it is keeping it vector. So we can hold Shift to make sure that it stays proportionate. Now, this is what is called a linked object. Now, there's a difference between just the actual vector object and the linked object. So watch this. As I click and drag, if I hold Alt or Option, what it's going to do, so I'm holding Alt right now, when I click, it is going to paste it as the vector, right? So the one on the right is a linked object. The one on the left is just the vector. And the way to change that is, again, just holding Alt when you click to place it. And I'll show you the difference in just a second of what's the difference between a vector and a placed object. But I do want to show you that you can do other things in here as well. So not only can we add shapes, if we wanted to, we could add colors. And so let's go ahead and grab all of our colors. And what's cool is I can drag all of these onto our artboards and then grab the colors, right? So I want to do a vector here. Again, instead of a placed object, I can hold Alt or Option and just click, and now I have a nice vector. And instead of adding the element, what I'm going to do is click on the plus button right here in my libraries. And there's graphic or fill color. I don't care about the graphic right now. I just want to add the fill color. So I click on fill color, and it has given me that blue as a fill color that I can use to just click and change the color of vector objects, right? Kind of cool. So I do want to add in that red as well, so we can just go to fill color, and now we have the red and the blue, and I probably want to add in maybe like a nice gray. So let me grab a gray from here. That's too dark. There we go. And right click fill color right there. So we have our 3 colors, feeling very red, white, and blue right now. I just love that these kind of interact with each other. We do have a question from our live chat, and if you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully you're watching it on the Adobe Live channel. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, everybody, click right here on the title of this video and then subscribe to the Adobe Live channel. But it is a live stream that happens every day at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time at behance.net/Adobe Live, and we have a live question that I'm going to answer from Colleen. She says, I've wondered that before. Would I hold Alt or Option if dragging onto an InDesign file? I'm going to show you that. I am going to show you that. We're going to cover Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign today. We're all over the place. So let's go ahead, and I'll get there. And I do want to answer it, but it's kind of in the process of where we're going. So I'll get there. Something else that we can do is we can actually do layer styles, or sorry, text styles. So if I have something and I type it out here, I'm just going to put it in, let's see, a font that I need. Actually, let's show you this. Why not? Let's open the font panel with hitting Control T. And guess what? Creative Cloud Libraries works with Adobe fonts too. All I need to do is click right here and then go to Find More. It will initialize that Creative Cloud, and it is finding fonts for me, everything that I can sync. And from there, I can turn on some filters and find the fonts that I like. Now, I have synced so many fonts from the Adobe Fonts library using Creative Cloud. And so it'll take us just a second to initialize here. It always takes just a second. It's loading. I think that like it's hundreds of thousands of fonts. It's a lot of fonts that it's loading. There we go. And so let's check one that I already have activated. If you want to activate one, all you need to do is click on that little cloud. But I'm just going to find one that is activated, and I like this. Whatever this is, I like it. So we're going to pick that, and then I am just going to zoom this up. And from here with this style, actually, I'm going to use something else. Let's go ahead and use Acumen, sure. With this style, I can set the size. So maybe the size is too big for me and I want this to maybe just be 60, right? So we have the size right here, looks good. And our leading is at 72, fine with me. Let's bring the tracking in just a little bit right there, -20. All I need to do is click on the plus and check this out. There's all kinds of options. So I can do a character style, a paragraph style, text, or the fill color. So what I'm going to do is do a character style. And now you see that it has a new character style, and I can type in headline here. Oops. So I have headline here, looks good. All right, here's where we're going to get a little bit crazy and start jumping around in programs. So we do have a vector here, right? Vector, let's just put these on the right side so that we can really work through here. All right, so we have a vector on the left, and we have linked objects on the right. Here is the difference between the two. So this linked object is attached to that Creative Cloud library. So if I want to come over here and go to Photoshop, the same thing. All I need to do is come over and go to Window, Libraries, let it sync. I'm also going to open it in InDesign real quick just so we have it in there. So we're going to go to Window, and this is CC Libraries in InDesign. So it's going to initialize all of those for me right now. And let's see how Photoshop's doing. There we go. So from here, I'm going to go to Challenge, and I'm going to place, let's see, which object did I place right here? I believe that this is Thick Circle and Squiggle 2. So I'm going to go down here, and the cool thing is you can search. So I can just type in Squiggle, and it's going to open that Squiggle 2. So I'm going to click, place it on my document right there. And then I also want, I think Circle was the other one. Thick Circle right there. So we have these two objects looking good. Let's go ahead and hop to InDesign. And in InDesign, let's go ahead and do the Thick Circle as well. Just place that right there. We'll scale it up a little bit. And then we also have the squiggle right here. All right, so let's say I don't like what's happening here. Maybe I want to squiggle inside of this circle, and maybe here I want this to tilt a different way. Now what's cool is I can actually come back to Illustrator, and what we want to do is we are going to right click, and then we are going to go to Edit. So you can add descriptions in here as well, but we're going to go to Edit, and from here it will open it in Illustrator for me. And I want to go ahead and just make another copy, and I'm just stretching this down using the scale tool to have another copy in there so that I have 2. Okay, so that looks good. I also want to change the red squiggle. Let's go to Edit. And from here, I don't like these extra pieces, so I'm just going to use the direct selection tool, which is A, to click and drag and delete those pieces. All right, so I'm going to save, Control S, and then I'm going to save, Control S right here. And by the time we get back to this document, they are all updated. So it will link those. And not only has it updated it here in Illustrator, it also has updated it in Photoshop and InDesign, right? So it updates it across the board in any program that you have used it in. It's amazing. So the cool thing too is if we're in a different program and I want to put in a headline here, all I need to do is click right here on this headline. And since it is a text style that we have set within our library, I believe that I made it way too big. There we go. Oh, it's not synced in. Andrew, what choices are you using? All right, Andrew made some bad choices. All right, but that's easy because I can come back in here. We can just choose another font. So let me go ahead and make another one real quick. I'm going to grab, let's see, one of my fonts. Sure, let's use one of these. So let's do this font. Looks good. And all I'm going to do here is I am going to plus, again, do a character style. Actually, let's do a paragraph style. That might be easier. I'll delete this by just going right click delete. We have a paragraph style right there. And I believe I can come back into InDesign. We will select this and then go to paragraph style. Andrew, what's happening here? All right, we're going to, hold please. All right, we're going to do a new one. Hello, friends. And from there, we're going to select it. There we go, and hit the new paragraph style. So it has changed that paragraph style, which is really cool. And the cool thing about this is we can actually come in here. We can get info. We can add a description about where to use this, or we can add it to our paragraph styles, which is kind of cool. And so we can add it to our paragraph styles within the document. So as we work, if we're using hotkeys, very quickly you can kind of bounce around. And you can see those paragraph styles, they were hanging out on a different screen. But you see, you can do all of those things here from Illustrator into libraries. Now, we got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to show you the magic of Adobe Express. So Adobe Color, you also can use this with libraries. We're not going to do it right now. Let's do it right now. Why not? So color.adobe.com, go click on trends. Find a cool color trend, and all you need to do is hover over these. And let's say that I like these colors right here. I can click on add to library, and I added to the wrong library. So I can come in here, choose my challenge library. Challenge library, there we go. And then I hit add to library. It should have added, let's see. I can come back here and let's see if it has added. All right, I hit the wrong buttons, but we now have our challenge selected and we can go to add to library. Boom, right there. Give it a second and we will have a new color palette right there that is in our library. We can right click, go add theme to swatches. And from there, it is now within our swatches, right? Super easy to jump around. Now, let's go ahead and go to express.adobe.com, and we are just gonna make a new document. We're gonna make something for social media. So I'm gonna do an Instagram post. And then all I need to do is, since I have created that library in Illustrator, all of my assets are already existing in that library. I can click on challenge and boom, all of my assets are right here. So I'm going to go to view all, and this gives me all the assets that I can use. So if I want to come in here, I can click and boom, it is added onto the document with just one click. So I can pull this over to the side, and let's say that we want to overlap some of these pieces. It's super easy, and you can actually use blending modes. So let me use this one maybe over here, and then let's put these stars down in the corner. So just clicking and dragging, again, it's just like working in another program, just faster. We can come in here and hit multiply. And this way I can actually edit these on the go. So I can edit this on my phone. It goes across desktop to mobile. Easy, right? It'll save and sync to the cloud so that you can edit wherever you are. And you can see here that we have that nice interaction happening with that multiply feature. Now, what's cool is if I want to add some text in here, I can add text, and let's just click on add text and say, hello, friends. That's always just my go-to because it's very neutral. We can grab the color right here by clicking on the text color, and then we can click on the eyedropper tool and just hover over maybe this red. So that's good. Let's go ahead and pull this up a bit. And from there, I do want to add one more thing for my library, and that is this dot pattern over some of this text. So let's do it maybe over here. And I want to pull the type all the way to the back just so I can get some good interactions, right? I can set these to multiply so that I get that fun interaction with the type. That looks really good. Maybe let's do one of these stripes kind of coming off the edge here. Looks good to me. One more squiggle. Andrew, you don't have time for this, but we're doing it. All right. So from there, check it out. We have all of the pieces here. And this is where going from Illustrator with the assets into Express really shines. You can actually go to animation right here, and we can do some text animation. So we're going to do a typewriter animation. And check that out. It's typing in, and you can see the multiply is staying. All our assets are synced from what was happening in Illustrator. And now we can animate it, add some really cool dynamic pieces to it. And maybe we want it to swoosh in from the side. Boop. Let's see. Slide. That's what I wanted. Slide on in. I think that looks pretty good. We also can change and do some photo animations. So if we wanted to, we can have all of these pieces Maybe we want them to zoom in. So we can click on zoom and all of those pieces animate in. We could pan, maybe they like come over, not crazy about that one. Blur, they're gonna blur out and then come into focus. Not crazy about that one either. Let's do zoom. So we've got them kind of zooming in and then locking into place. We can pause that animation, but I think it looks pretty good, right? So let's go ahead and all we need to do is go to download, and then we can download it as a video. Now we also could schedule this. So check this out. We could go from Illustrator to our libraries into Express and then just click on schedule right here. And check this out. We don't even need to post it. We don't have to export it. We don't have to do it any different way. We literally can just post it. So it's going to go to scheduler right now. It's going to work on that. While we do that, I'll show you, you can download it as a video, just an MP4 by hitting the download project. It is going to download that project. And once it is downloaded, we'll be able to convert that to a GIF. So right now it is an MP4, but it will convert to a GIF very easily and very quickly. It's probably exporting right now. It's going to take just a second. But you can see that it is loading the media. There was a lot of animation happening there. And here I can choose where I want to post it. So I can post it to Twitter right there and just say, hello, friends. This is libraries. I can choose when I want to schedule it. So maybe we'll post it a little bit later today. 3:53, sure. And then I can actually preview it. So it is still loading. So I'll let it load for a second and we'll do something else. We'll come back into Adobe Express, and Adobe Express isn't just for design. It also can help us jump around and convert things. And that's the one that I'm going to do. We're going to do convert to GIF. And all I need to do is drag this piece into the window. So I'm going to go ahead and open that real quick. And from here, we have our project. And all we need to do is click and drag that project and it will process for us. So there's our cool animation. We want it medium quality, and I'm going to hit download. So it's downloading that. And while it downloads that, we can come back to our schedule and we can click on preview. It's still loading. I animated like 9 different things. That was kind of intense. But it will load that and it will schedule it for me to play on social media, and it's processing right here as well. So I'll come back to that and, oh, is it done? Is it finished? It's done. All right. So right there, all I need to do is click and we have a nice GIF. Check it out. Pretty cool. And it will loop forever. We have an awesome illustration that maybe we could have laid out in Illustrator, right? Maybe we design this in Illustrator and then we make a library of the pieces, drop those pieces into Express and add some animation, add some text effects. It really like bolsters what you can design in Illustrator and takes it to a whole nother level with that animation, right? Pretty cool. All right, so let's go and look at our schedule. It's still loading. But I'll show you an example of what it looks like because I do have some stuff scheduled for this that I believe is for Adobe Max. Yep. So right here, we can click and we can see we want a preview right there. And you can see the preview pops up of what it will look like when it posts. You can go to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, wherever you want to go. And then we can even click and drag to schedule these at different times in different places. Pretty cool, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to create a Creative Cloud library right here. Create a library. And what I want you to do is right down there, bit.ly/AI Discord. It's also down in the description. Post a screenshot. There's a channel that we have that is specifically for challenge feedback. And I want you to post a screenshot of the different pieces that you put in the library. Make sure that you try to put them in Photoshop. You try to put them in InDesign, change them around by using that edit and watch them sync across the board. And maybe make an animation. Maybe take it into Express, make an animation, and post in our Discord over there. So thanks for joining me today. I will be back again another time for more Illustrator knowledge here on your challenges on Adobe Live. Behance.net/Adobe Live. We're live every day, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time. Hit that subscribe button. Bye.